What's up guys, it's me Jeremy, and today I want to talk about something that a huge portion of the community does not understand. The benefits of playing passive. When I say playing passive, that doesn't mean playing passive throughout the entire game though, nor does it mean just letting the enemy hit you. What it does mean is playing safe, trying to only really farm and only poking if your enemy pokes you first. It's more like playing passive aggressive really, but I'll just call it playing passive for lack of a better term. Now I love to play aggressive, and this was kind of a hard concept for me to grasp, but the truth is that the best playstyles incorporate passive and aggressive play. Not necessarily balancing out the two, but playing passive when it's good for them, and playing aggressive when it's good for them. So what are the actual benefits of playing passive? Well, first, it is very, very hard to get killed while playing passive. It is also very hard to lose trades, because you are simply just avoiding them entirely. Since dying is such a huge factor in throwing or simply just losing, we can already see a huge benefit in playing passive. The next is that it is fairly hard to die to ganks. This is because you are constantly saving your skills so that you can use them to easily escape a gank. Also, if you are playing passive, CSing becomes much easier. CSing is so important in terms of obtaining gold. A kill is worth about 20 CS, and when playing passive, you will usually miss very little CS because you aren't doing much else other than farming. And if you are good at CSing and your opponent is not, you can actually get a huge advantage simply by just out farming them. Now, playing passive all the time is very bad and will pretty much always make you lose your lane for multiple reasons though. The first is that if you're always playing passive, it is very hard to get kills, unless your jungler ganks. Relying on your jungler to win your lane is not a very good idea, especially in solo queue, since you have the enemy jungler to worry about too. Next is that if you are playing passive, you can be prone to free poke and eventually get killed or pushed out of the lane. This is because if you are playing passive, you're pretty much always letting your opponent get the first hit off in a trade, which is usually a bad idea if you commit to that trade. Lastly, if you play passive all the time, you will have a very hard time catching up if you fall behind, because your opponent will be the one controlling the game, and there will be little room for you to make plays. So there are obviously both positives and negatives of playing passive, so essentially what you need to do is know when you should play passive and when it's okay to play aggressive. In general, you want to play passive when you have pretty much zero chance of winning an exchange, be it in terms of CS, damage, etc. Some examples would be, if there's a very big minion wave that you can farm up that you would miss by trying to trade with the enemy. This is a good time to play passive because you have to get that CS, or you will fall behind in gold. Another good time to play passive is if you think the enemy jungler is near, or if the enemy jungler has recently ganked and has not shown himself somewhere else. This is a great time to play passive because you do not want to die to a jungler gank. Also, if your opponent has some sort of major skill advantage over you, you should play passive. If they are level 6 and you are level 5, you need to play passive until you hit level 6 to avoid death. Or if they have both summoner spells up and you have neither, you will likely want to play passive as well, to avoid death once again. Another good time to play passive is if you have no way of winning trades. This can be for multiple reasons, but it's likely that they have either an item or experience advantage onto you. If you cannot win a trade, there is no reason to trade in the first place, so you should play passive avoiding trades. There are more examples of course, but I feel like I've covered the major ones. Overall, you should not be playing passive all the time, but it's a very good idea to incorporate some passive play into bits of your playstyle. You'll find that you die less and have a much easier time holding a lead. So, that's it for my talk on passive play. I'd love it if you guys could support me with a like, an upvote on the Reddit thread, or some feedback. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.